It sounds like you have just described an arranged marriage to a racial bureaucracy, which doesn't sound like a particularly great idea. You have also said that fundamentally every citizen is equal before the law and that equality is part of the bedrock of Australian democracy. Now, when you were speaking at an event in Tamworth recently, you also, rather brilliantly, said the following in this video. Let's have a listen.
You know, the first item of the United Nations Declaration of Human Rights says this, that all people are born equal in rights and dignity. All people are born equal. But with the insertion of a racial clause, we are no longer in Australia born equal, because for some unknown reason a right will then be attributed to people based on their DNA. And if a certain group has a right based on their DNA, another group does not have that right based on their DNA. And I believe that our Constitution should always move to a purer document which is blind to race, blind to religion, blind to your creed, blind to your colour. That is the document that treats everybody equally. Now, if we say...
Well, Barnaby, I have two very quick questions to finish up with you. Is Australia, by passing the voice to Parliament, in danger of violating this UN Human Rights Declaration by inserting race into our political system? And if so, is this a turning point where non-Indigenous citizens will be treated as second-class citizens in their own country?
Well, most definitely will be against the tenor of the words, because you'll be born either with the right or without it, devoid of the right or having the right. And what a horrible place what a horrible sort of precept that is. I mean, once you believe that is a template and you believe it's effective, then what other groups do you think, well, if it works, then why stop there? Why not have multiple voices for multiple groups who say, I need to have a selected body that is attributed a right which you are devoid of because I am born to it or have decided to be a part of it. Now, I know some instances that might be a ridiculous proposition, but in the mechanism of display, it shows you how incongruous this is with the Australia that we live in. Our Constitution is a very bland, simple, brief document, but it works very well. We live in a country we've never had a civil war, no major disturbances. Therefore, when you propose a change to it, you have to be so careful because you're changing something that's worked very well. And if you have an issue about where there's an economic circumstance, social circumstances that need to be improved where in the majority live Indigenous people, well, you do it for the area, regardless of their creed or colour. You do it for both Indigenous people, Indian people, Asian people, Caucasian people, Pacific Islander people who live in that area. You don't start saying, well, we have a concern, but we're only going to deal with this group. Because ipso facto, it also says in a form that you think certain people are obviously born deficient. They need a special group to help them. And that also is an anachronism and quite a sort of an insulting concept.
Well, thank you so much, Barnaby Joyce, for all the work that you do and for also making it clear to Australians that a vote no is to stop racism from entering the Australian Constitution and to preserve the wonderful, equal democracy that we currently have today that is representative of our multicultural Australian people. Thank you for joining us on Spectator TV.
You're welcome, Alexander. Go out and fight for it, listeners. Go out and fight for it.